News Talk on demand. Interruption-free audio where you want it, when you want it.
Richard Brown Show for Wednesday. Don't forget you can connect text 306-306. Don't forget your name and where you're from. And you can follow us on Twitter at RBShowSK. Ticks, lice, bedbugs. 3 of my least favorite things. Because the dog gets ticks, and when we were younger, our daughter had head lice, and bedbugs are on the rise. A friend of ours came back from vacation down south, and apparently bedbugs came back with them in their suitcase. It's like, oh, really? Yeah. And we had talked about this on the program many months ago. And at the time, I thought that maybe this bed bug infestation that we are seeing in North America kind of leveled off. Got word that it isn't. And several of you have tweeted and texted to me that when we were talking about lice, that bed bugs are an issue. Well, they're an issue certainly here and all over North America, and they're getting worse in some places. But how do you deal with them? Really, how do you deal with them? Joining us on the live line, Dr. Rana Sarfraz. He's a research scientist and entomologist, Department of Zoology, University of British Columbia. Doctor, thanks for being on the program.
You're welcome, Richard. Thanks.
This whole idea of the bedbug infestation, is it getting worse?
Yes, it is getting worse, and actually estimates are that bedbugs have increased about 500 to 600% in the last 10 years in North America.
Wow. And I guess my automatic question is, where are they coming from?
As you indicated in your introduction, that people now travel more than ever before, and bedbugs are hitting rides on clothing and luggage. So they are actually traveling all over the world, mainly coming from Asia and some other hot countries, and because they have been serious problem in developing world.
Yeah.
So they are mainly coming from developing worlds to the developed countries, and then they are expanding their range.
So, all right, if we travel, and many people do, if we go into a hotel, what do we need to do to check for bed bugs?
Yeah, that's a very important question, especially, for example, when I go traveling around like different places, what I usually do is inspect my room and sleeping area, check on, under, and beside beds and couches. For example, if I suspect an infestation, I report to the management and ask for a different room.
Yeah.
And when I come back, I wash all clothing and fabric items in hot water immediately after returning from my trip, regardless of whether I wore them or not. So these are very important tips. So if we follow these tips, people can actually have a bug-free stay at their room, as well as they can avoid bringing those bed bugs to their home back.
When you're in a hotel or in another place and you say you inspect your room, what is it I'm looking for when I'm doing this inspection, and where do I look?
Yeah. Usually, like if, for example, if I have to look in the sleeping area, mainly, usually what I do is slowly lift up each corner of the mattress and examine the creases of the mattress and box spring, and mainly behind the headboard, because these are the hard places in a sleeping area where the bed bugs are present or hiding when it's daytime.
But they're so dang small. How can you see them?
Yeah, that's because usually when you turn the light on and you are looking into the baseboard and other small places, if you don't see the bed bugs, you can still see their symptoms. Let's say blood spots, their feces or droppings. You can see actually lots of fecal pellets around the mattress creases if the infestation is present.
Yeah.
So you can easily detect it.
All right. So now, how do I know that I've been bitten by a bed bug? And even if I am bitten by one, what are my risks?
So this is a good point, especially because most of people, let's about 60% people, are not allergic to their bites, and luckily, these bedbugs don't transmit any known human diseases. So basically, in that sense, although they don't transmit diseases, but the stress associated with their presence and bites could be extreme. So no diseases, but you can still get rashes, and you can still lose your sleep, and you can also transmit. You can actually take those insects wherever you go then.
All right. Let's say I get home and somehow I end up with bed bugs and they end up in my bed. What do I have to do? Get rid of the bed?
No, you don't have to get rid of the bed altogether. It all depends. Let's say if you have bed bug infestations at early stage, because at early stage they are easy to deal with and it can be easily get rid of. But if the infestations are serious, they are large, then it would be very difficult to get rid of. For example, if you suspect that there is a bed bug infestation in your home, so basically first thing is to make sure that you have bed bugs.
Right.
So identify them. Basically, what I usually say is if you, for example, homeowners know already that how the bed bugs look like or where they can actually find, then they can do it by themselves. Or on the other hand, they can hire licensed pest control operators because they know where to look for and what to look for. And then they can confirm whether you have a bed bug infestation, and then they can propose some special tips for you to how to prepare your room, your home, and then they can come back and treat the area with the insecticide, or nowadays pest control operators are also using heat treatment and cold treatment. So it all depends.
So you can either cook them or you can freeze them.
Yes.
So how prevalent is it now in North America for hotels and for other sites to treat for bed bugs? I mean, do hotels now, are they conscious of the fact that there is this infestation, and are they doing everything they can to get rid of them?
That's a very touchy aspect for hotel and, for example, like other apartment buildings and other businesses, because even if there are bed bugs, usually they don't even let their customers or tenants know that there are bed bugs. Mm-hmm. So I think best thing is people should know. For example, there is a special website known as bedbugregistry.com. People can actually report their bed bug. For example, if you are visiting some place, you can go to that website and report that you actually found those bed bugs in that particular area. For example, when I was looking at bed bug infestation in Saskatchewan, I found on that website that Saskatoon, Regina, and Prince Albert are the hardest hit areas in Saskatchewan.
For bed bugs?
Yeah.
Wow. Well,
so you can actually see them.
Yeah. Well, I hope we don't get any in our house, and now that I have an idea of what to look for, the little red blood spots or fecal matter, then I guess we just check in all the crevices around the mattress and around the headboard. Yeah,
that's very important. And other thing is, for example, if you suspect that bed bugs are present in the home, since they do not jump or they do not fly, so physical barriers, any physical barrier that you can use can actually protect you from being bitten from these bed bugs.
Oh, that's good.
For example, you can use any sticky thing around the bed legs. You can also use some kind of leg interceptors, commercially available, like double-sided tape. You can just use that tape around the legs, and then they can actually intercept their movement up and down on the legs.
Yeah.
So there are small tips you can actually use and avoid those bed bugs infestation, and then keep your areas neat and clean. Vacuum, for example, if you have the infestation, vacuum very often, mainly under and behind the beds. Yeah. So those are also important.
Good advice. Dr. Sarfraz, I appreciate you coming on the program. Thank you for your time today.
Thanks a lot, Regis, for inviting me to your show. Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Dr. Rana Sarfraz, he's a research scientist at the Department of Zoology at the University of British Columbia. Bed bug infestations on the rise in North America. I'm Richard Brown. This is News Talk Radio. I can remember one time our dog got fleas someplace outside and brought him in, and we ended up with fleas in the house. We had to have the whole house exterminated. And this kind of reminds me of